morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today's episode is brought to you by Ecosia, and I don't think it could fit any better because, as you can see, we are completely hazed out. Every summer, British Columbia catches on fire, and this summer is especially bad. All of Vancouver Island over there is burning, and as you can tell, there's still a lot of wind, and it's still quite warm. And those are not good conditions to be fighting a fire in. So I'm really happy to bring on this sponsor. This is Ecosia. I've been using them for like 3 years now, actually. And basically what they are is a search engine that uses its profits to plant trees. So that's pretty rad. I'll tell you more about it later on in the episode, but for now, we're gonna get cracking on some work today. And yeah. Try not to breathe too much of this stuff in. It's nasty. Alright, so as you can see, I've kind of got the first chunk of the settee here built, but I'll need to get more plywood to get it to extend out to here. It'd be nice to have this about a 6 foot by 4 foot kind of bed when the table goes down. Not that I'll be short on berths, but hey, you know, it's a nice extra feature. And now that I have epoxy on board, we're gonna crack out the old timers epoxy and we're gonna lay in all of these beams permanently. So let's do that. Alright, it's starting to come together in here. It's nice to have it solid, but I gotta put, you see that little mini bulkhead? I gotta put another one there, and one there. So I need 4 more. 4. And then we're gonna lay a grid pattern in here on the floor to make this floor support. And this section here, where the battery box is, that's all going to be level with the battery box. So we're making a double thick floor here and then a single thick floor for the rest of the galley. Anyway, just really excited about that, but I need more material to continue there, so instead I'm going to run out and do the fairing on some of the decks that fiberglassed already. I want to give a big thank you to Loney for sending me the face mask. This one's so much nicer. Does a good job of keeping all of this microfiber out of my lungs, which is nice. So the fairing compound has a much creamier texture. Let's lay it on.
Just move back to the times when we could shine, to the times when we all knew we lost them so fast, and we lose it all on Friday night. The peace of mind over the same shine. Let it drown in a glass of wine. Let it drown in a glass of wine.
Alright, it doesn't really look that smooth because there's lots of little bumps and stuff in the fiberglass, and so it's got to be all lumpy to kind of compensate for that. And I still have to go over it with a flat top sander, but yeah, I wanted to get it nice and smooth before I put non-stick, and I know that might seem stupid to a lot of you, but I've seen how it looks when you put non-stick directly above fiberglass cloth, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the way it looked, I didn't like the way it felt, so I'm fairing it. I'm just going to do one fairing coat probably for the main chunk, and then a little bit for the rain gunnels. All right, so now that the morning's work is done, I want to talk a little bit about our sponsor. So it's not often that a sponsor reaches out to me, and I've already been using their product for years. So this is really cool because, like, I can tell you honestly that they're great, and I've used them for a long time now. So I really am qualified to say that, I think. Ecosia is a web browser, essentially. Basically, they're taking on search engines, web browsers, all that kind of stuff, and they're using all the profits to plant trees. So the general concept is, it's a web browser that uses their profit to plant trees. 35 million so far. And honestly, that's pretty much it. Like, for the day-to-day, it's a web browser that's as lightweight and as fast as any other web browser I've used a lot, like Firefox or Google Chrome or any other ones. But the difference is, instead of all the profit going to some corporate CEO's money bags, it plants some trees, and I'm down with that. Plus, the further you dig into this company, the cooler it gets. So they're super transparent. They do earnings reports and show you how much of the money they make is going towards marketing, to pay guys like me to talk about it, but also you see how the vast majority of the money does go towards planting trees, and it is super transparent. It's not that confusing or that complicated. On top of that, they don't sell your third-party data, which I cannot tell you how important that is. But they don't do it, and it's so great. So there's very few things on the internet that are free and easy and good for the planet. So this is one of them, and I'm super happy to be working with them. Plus, they're also completely green powered, and you know I'm into that. I'll include a link in the description. You should check them out. I think you're gonna like it because at the end of the day, you don't really notice it. And I think a good search engine is like that. You know, it just does its job. It's quick, it's lightweight, doesn't lag out, and it works. And at the same time, your revenue dollars are going towards planting some trees, and your data is not being farmed off to a bunch of third-party weird advertisers and stuff like that. So check them out. Link in the description. Thank you so much to Ecosia for helping this boat project out. I look forward to working with you guys more in the future. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on the boat all day, and I haven't gotten off. The dinghy is, well, it's not doing so great. But while I wasn't filming and taking a little break, something happened. Chris and Alicia, who've helped out unbelievably over the last few months, they gave me something. And I call her the HMS Bathtub. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new dinghy, finally. I didn't want to spend any money on getting a nice one because I'm not cruising yet, and I'm just abusing it, and I'm loading it full of plywood, and I'm doing everything else. But Chris and Alicia saw how much I was suffering on that stupid HMS Patchy, and they got me the bathtub. And the bathtub is huge. So to all of you who have come aboard my boat and had to deal with HMS Patchy so far, terribly sorry. And for all of you who are going to come on my boat in the near future, you have no idea how spoiled you are with HMS Bathtub. Yeah, so we're gonna put some wheels on her soon. I should work on that next, I think. But for now, we're just gonna row it to shore, get rid of a bit more garbage, and go say hi to Vern, because he's back from his trip. Okay, a few confessions. While I was gone, one of my oars grew a pair of legs and ran away. And I'm willing to believe that it's most likely the ocean and the weather that blew it off deck, and not somebody on the island, because the ocean and the weather are much meaner than the people on this island. Secondly, I took the truck off the road. While I was on the motorcycle trip, I didn't want to pay insurance on two vehicles, so I just transferred the plates from my truck to my motorbike through the ICBC thing. Anyways, a lot cheaper. But as a result, my dump truck, aka my truck, hasn't made any runs to the dump in like a month. So it's full of garbage and it stinks awful. awful. And I just put plates back on it, and I gotta go into the city one of these days. I'm just not looking forward to it. I know I'm gonna find so many maggots down there, and I'm just, don't wanna do it. So instead, we're gonna go over and stay out at Vern and crack a beer. All right, well, Vern is back from his trip. How far did you go, Vern?
To Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert. Okay, so
a little above it. But
yeah. So you were tickling the bottom of Alaska there for a bit.
Yeah.
And you've been gone how long?
We left on the 16th of June.
Okay, and you just came back like a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, about a week ago.
A week ago. Okay, wow. So you were gone a long time. So what was the experience like?
Well, going up, we went on the inside, like there's different channels and different rapids, which took a lot longer than going up. He didn't want to go through, the guy who went with me through Johnson Strait. So
you took your time going up?
Yeah.
And then you sped kind of back down. You said you motored almost the whole way?
Yeah, because it just didn't work out.
The currents up there are nuts, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then the problem was when we got to Prince Rupert, it's getting towards the end of August, and everybody was saying, "Oh, the fog in August," and that's what happened. It was great doing it. I wouldn't do it again because it's a long ways up there. I'm glad I did it. It's you don't see much different all the way up than you do going up part way, so it's
yeah, but it is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and there's nothing up there as far as
people and
email and picking up signals. Even VHF doesn't work in a lot of areas. Nothing works. You're in the outback, nowhere.
Well, it's really good to have Vern back. I've been watching some of his videos on his channel, the Island Pack Rat, and it's just it's unfiltered, perfect, 100% Vern. But yeah, it really also makes me get excited because I hope to next summer get this boat up that way. And I think because he motored most of the way, it's also the kind of sailing that this boat can do well, motoring a lot. And yeah, I'm excited for it. But I'm back on the boat now, and I got my template cut out. I was like, set up all this cardboard to cut it out, and then I realized that it's the same for each one of these. So for the next 4, I don't really need any other templates. I can just use the same one. So now I'm also cutting up these little supports that go in here, because the wall is going to be only 1.5 inches thick. The wall all over the boat is 1.5 inches thick, all the bulkheads. So these ones, which are main supports, I need them to be thicker and stronger, and that's fine. Some of them are painted, some of them are epoxy covered. And I think what I might do is some sort of where I can mate it to the ceiling joists somehow. So I'll cut some into here and then mate it in a more fluid way, because these will be exposed. So I'll probably just paint them white, and I'm gonna do a nice big world map across here. So yeah, a spot to put in some of the artwork that I've been sent and some of the pictures that I take. And yeah, we're decided to make the whole settee significantly larger and put the cockpit door right behind where that white panel is there, off to the side. So then the cockpit, or that would be like the companionway doorway, and then the cockpit will be on the other side of that wall, and we'll have like a mini cockpit on this side. Make sense? Good, great, perfect. All right, I'm gonna get back to work, and yeah, I'll soak up the last bit of daylight we have. Well, we got the supports kind of done over here, and I'm short on material. I need some more fur 2x4s so I can finish some of the stronger supports. I also laid in the starting of like a laundry basket. I don't know. It's something that I've got left over from when I worked in restaurants, but while I'm cooking, using up like a dish rag, I'd like to be able to just toss it into the bin from my cook station. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good spot for it on the boat. It's weird, awkward, right against the hull. Like you can't really fit too many other things, but a laundry bag will fit in there just right. I really hope we get some rain this week. Me being on a small island, Forest fires aren't really a thing that happen here on Gabriola, but Vancouver Island is on fire. I think there's 37 active forest fires going on in Vancouver Island right now. That's a lot of fires, and do something really simple that doesn't cost you anything, and that is going with Ecosia. It allows you to use your ad rev dollars to plant some trees. Heavens knows we're going to need them, because by the smell of things, there must not be too many left over on Vancouver Island. It is really strange and hazy. It's like being in a dream, you know? So yeah, links in the description, and thank you so much to Ecosia for doing the awesome things you do, making a decent web browser, but also for your transparency, for your privacy, and most of all, for them trees. And thanks for the help on today's episode. Thanks guys, that's it. Good night.
The boy